Hey there, it's Laura Wansick. Thanks for watching. And today I've got a pocket page process video for you using the new Studio Calico Folklore Documenter Kit for March 2021. So every kit comes in one of these great plastic pouches. And what I did is I grabbed 12 of them from last year and I took a label maker and I put a month on each one. And then every month as I'm going through the month, I print photos out and I put them in the pouch along with some other things that I might want to keep, ephemera, things like that. And then when I'm ready to start working, all I have to do is pull that pouch out. So what I did here is I laid all of the products from the Documenter Kit there at the top so that I get a sense of the color scheme. And then I'm going through my photos and kind of picking which photos match the colors. And then after I've got a big pile of pictures that match the colors, then from there I hunt for sort of a grouping of pictures that make sense to put together for a spread. Then I lay them all out kind of in the grid of the pocket page style that I use. So I'm doing 9 by 12 Project Life. And I take 4 by 6 photos a lot. So I'm not sure the name of the page protector, but it's where you can see like the left side there that it's a 4 by 6, 3 by 4, and then the middle row of 3 by 4s, and then the bottom 4 by 6 and 3 by 4. So this is a 2-page spread. That's the pocket page style that I really like. So I just lay them out just to get a sense, to kind of start the puzzle. And then from here, I'm just going through and kind of figuring out, okay, what works in terms of theme for this spread. This is kind of just a general, like just overall capture of the month. So I wasn't particularly fussy about which pictures went. I just wanted it to be kind of visually balanced in terms of colors. And then I'm just going through and kind of getting a sense of balance. So, you want to be careful about the heaviness, like the visual weight of certain cards. So if you look at like that really kind of wood grain card, that dark wood there, that's a really heavy card visually, right? Because it's very dark. So I wouldn't put 2 cards like that next to each other. I would kind of space them out. And then the same is true of pictures. Like if a picture is really, if there's a close up, I might put it next to a more zoomed out photo. It's just something that I kind of sense. I'm not quite sure how to explain it, in detail, but I think you just kind of have to move things around like a puzzle until it seems like they're just balanced. So I fussy cut out that flower and then I'm just moving it around. I do this a lot. This is a big part of my process, is just moving things around with my fingers to kind of get a sense of where I want them. This is why I wouldn't want to do purely digital, because I just love this process of moving things around. It's much harder to do, digitally. Not as fun, that's for sure. Plus, I love the texture of all these products. There's this great little label set that comes with this kit, and I loved finding places for all of these. There are always certain sections of a spread that I get sort of stuck on, like I'm just not sure quite what to do. And for me, that green card there in the bottom is where I got stuck. I tried so many different cards there. I just couldn't figure anything out. It's kind of funny. I don't know. I don't think I end up using that card. I'm not remembering which one I went with, but here I'm just trying to group things. Again, trying to keep balance. Just a lot of moving around and trying stuff. I decided to make that. I liked that chipboard piece that says, "Yes, simply the best." I thought that would be cute, kind of title card, or just a fun filler card. So spreads like this are made up of filler versus journaling versus photos. So sometimes it's a card just for decoration, sometimes it holds a story, and sometimes it's a photo. And of course, sometimes it's a combination of any of those. But, I always try to balance filler versus photo versus journaling. Generally speaking, I think you can kind of follow the rule of thirds, but, not hard and fast. You don't have to do it every single time. I think it's important to just kind of follow your own kind of intuition, your own design intuition. There's these really fun clear stickers. I got that one stuck and then I ripped it, and so I had to get another label there. They're nice sturdy stickers. I don't know why I had such a hard time. I don't know if it was my nails or... So here I'm just putting February on that. Each spread I try to put the name of the month somewhere. And that's a really fun piece of chipboard there. And then I layered it with another little chipboard heart. And this great little pink label sheet came with the kit as well. So I used a lot of those. And I love that stamp set. Yeah, the bottom part, that bottom card there, I don't end up doing that. That half black circle just seemed way too harsh. I don't know, it just didn't work. Sometimes I use a tiny attacher just to add a little bit of texture to things. So I think I do that a few different times, but mostly this is just, you know, sticking some chipboard and paper down and calling it a day. I feel like less is so much more when it comes to pocket page scrapbooking. When I first started pocket page scrapbooking back in, oh gosh, 2013, I remember it felt like I had to do something to each journaling card. Like it needed to be a masterpiece or something. And as I look back on those albums, it's just so busy that it like gives me a headache. I'm like, there's too much on each card. And now I just really like, you know, thinking of how each card is really just a, you know, a part of the larger thing. Each card's not its own layout. Each card just sort of adds to the larger layout. And that's been a really helpful way for me to get spreads done and just to end up liking them a lot more as well. So the sentiments on this 3x4 journaling or this 3x4 stamp set are love this so much and life is sweet. And if you just do some, you know, little bit of masking or just even stamping and then wiping off, you can stamp those words separately. So I was able to do that by just stamping, and then I kind of took a wipe and wiped off the other words before I stamped down love, and then did the same for this. So just a way to kind of stretch your supplies. So this is a piece that I made that I didn't end up using in the spread, but I thought I would keep it in the video just to show you, first of all, my process, and then a lot of times I do stuff and then I don't end up, you know, using it in the actual spread, just experimenting. But I took the Love This Very Much stamp and I'm sort of putting it on a curve there on that half circle. And the idea was that I was going to make that a little journaling circle that I was going to put on one of the cards, but it didn't end up, I mean, it turned out fine, but it just, I don't know, it just didn't look right. This is on that card that I just could not figure out how to, I just could not, I was like really stumped by that particular card. And this was an attempt, I think, to make myself like that card, but it just didn't work. So it didn't make the final cut, but it is fun to try to see if you can bend your stamps, kind of a literal stretching of your stamps, right? So I ran that card up at the top through my typewriter, and then I put down the chipboard on it. And then for the card there on the bottom that I was stumped on, I ended up doing a little cluster of some of the really fun little die cuts included in this kit. And I really like that. It took a minute, but I figured it out. I love that little raccoon guy, and I put a W for our last name. Just simple, but kind of fun, a little kind of string of pieces there. And I think that it looks good with the balance of the layout. There's kind of vertical pieces there on that whole column with the ruler, and then that little orange piece, and then these little strips here. And you can see that I did that masking again. Sorry, it cut off there at the bottom. It says life. I ran that other card through the typewriter as well, and I got a little bit of ink accidentally on the top, and I thought I would cover it up, and then I decided, no, it's okay. It's just imperfect, and it is what it is. So I love that white space there on that picture of my daughter. So I think I ended up doing a little bit of journaling. Played around with putting that label, but didn't do that. I was gonna just have to move stuff around. It's just part of my process. So I'm doing another one of these masking things with that strip where I'm doing just the Love This. Considered using those journaling lines, but didn't end up doing it. So using a micron pen here to do a little bit of journaling. So a little bit of handwriting, a little bit of typewriter. I love the way it turned out. It was super fun. You know, even when I'm getting stuck, you know, that's part of the process. It's part of the fun. So thanks for watching, and let me know if you have any questions in the comments.